Hey guys, stay patient here, and we're back on Alienation. Now, before we start up this stream that I'm about to commence, I wanted to bring you guys on YouTube a quick video showing you my first legendary weapon. Now, first of all, it's quite interesting that I've earned a legendary, because that kind of tells us something about how the loot system on this game works. It means that basically it's more akin to the Borderlands games than games like Destiny, because of course on games like Destiny you need to reach the maximum XP level before you can start earning that top end gear. But on games like Borderlands you can start earning the legendary weapons right from the beginning of the game, so it makes the whole playthrough a lot more fun and interesting. So this game seems to work like Borderlands because I've already received a legendary. I'm only, I believe, level 30, I'm level 15 at the moment, but I received the legendary at level 13, and the maximum level is level 30. Now, of course, that does mean that the weapon is going to become out-leveled by other gear that I receive along the way, but it also means that we're going to be earning new sort of top-end gear as we play through the game. So we'll be constantly replacing our guns with better gear as we go along. But it just makes the whole playthrough that much more fun and interesting if you're able to use these exciting and interesting weapons as you're playing, and you don't have to wait until you're at that maximum XP level. Now, I've just started up a mission here, and we're going to get going, and I'm going to show you the effects that this gun has. If we go to our options menu here, under our gear, sorry, we'll just wait for them to shut up. There we go. I think they're going to be quiet now. Thank you, guys. Okay, so under our gear page here, we have our primary weapons, and that is where our legendary lies. Now, if you look at this, it's obviously an energy gun because I'm a tank, and I believe energy guns are the only weapons that you can have in the primary slot for this class. So if we click on it, you'll see energy gun level 13. Now, the first thing you'll notice is that the upgrade tree is a lot larger than all the other ones, which means we can socket more cores into the weapon. Now, I've already done some re-rolling on this gun to get decent stats. As you can see, I've got almost full bars on all of them. And I've also changed the socket types until I got 2 red ones together and 2 yellow ones together, because of course, as we know from the video that I showed you guys yesterday, I believe it was, if you combine 2 of these colours together and you socket the correct cores into those slots, you will get extra bonuses from the, whatever that bonus is. In this case, it's clip size, so we get the bonus from the core, we also get the bonus from the slot, and also a bonus called synergy, which involves both of them being next to each other like that. Now, the interesting thing though with these weapons is that, as in most games, the legendary gun, almost like the exotic weapons in Destiny, it has a unique perk. And that's active, I assume it's active when you fill in these orbs or these slots next to it. But you don't actually have to put anything into this particular slot to activate it. It's active straight away. And as you can see there, action melee at enemy, and the effect is boomerang. Now, if anyone has been watching my stream or my videos on YouTube, you'll have seen that, let's have a look here. Under the equipment tab, you can have grenades, mines, things like that, but you can also have boomerangs, which is a really cool little item, little piece of equipment that they've included in this game, which is quite unique. You don't get many games with boomerangs, but it's a cool little piece of gear. I'm going to show you how it works to begin with. What you do is, when your grenade slot is recharged down in the bottom left there, you'll see it's tied to the L2 button. You throw out a boomerang, and it comes back at you. Now, it flies further if it hits enemies, it seems to, and when you throw it out and then move, obviously it follows you to come back to you, and that means that you can kind of move around and make sure that the boomerang is hitting more and more enemies. It will hit some enemies on its way out and some on its way back. As you can see there, it kind of follows you around, and you can sort of manipulate it to hit a lot of enemies. Now, the way this weapon works that I've just received, this legendary energy gun, one thing I've noticed, it doesn't have a unique name. It's still just an energy gun, but as you can see, it is legendary. This particular upgrade, as it says there, the action and the effects, I'm guessing every legendary will have this, where the action is what you need to do to trigger the legendary effect, and then the effect is what happens when you trigger it. So the action is meleeing at an enemy, which means you have to actually hit an enemy with the melee, and the effect is boomerang, and I'm going to show you how that works. Now the equipment, of course, is a separate thing. The boomerang that we just threw, that is our piece of equipment. That's not related to this legendary. That's just something that we've got in our loadout. But if we come here and let's just kill this guy, because I'm going to hopefully come across a group of enemies and I can show you how this cool little effect works on this legendary gun. I am actually going the wrong way, so let's go and find ourselves a mob of enemies. Ideally, we might come across a horde, which is when... sorry, that's force of habit, grabbing that gear. Let's have a look. Here we are. Right, we can drop down here. Now, what it means is when you melee an enemy, it triggers the boomerang effect as a separate effect. It's not related to your L2 button sort of grenade throw. And it can be triggered as many times as you like. There's no cooldown to it. So as you see there, I melee an enemy, and it does a boomerang through all of them. Now, it's not as big of a boomerang, or it doesn't travel as far as your main one, which, of course, let me show you the main one in action against enemies. It's typical, isn't it? Enemies everywhere in the game, but then as soon as you need some, they're nowhere to be seen. Okay, so that's the normal boomerang, and let's have a look at the melee boomerang. It's sort of a smaller one. It doesn't travel as far, but it's ever so useful, because it means that when you've got mobs like this is ideal actually. It means that you can just constantly be slashing away, and every time you melee them, it's going to throw your boomerang through a bunch of enemies. It's going to take out a large number of them every single time you press the melee button. Now, of course, when you get a legendary weapon, it could be anything. The effects on them are randomized, obviously, but I just thought I'd show you guys that you can get legendaries at low levels. Obviously, it depends on what difficulty you're playing on, and also if you've... one thing that's worth doing is destroying the respawn beacons. So when you're going around the map, the triangles there, you'll see the sort of upside down triangles, they are respawn beacons, and we're going to go up and show you one of these now, guys. Because what happens is if you destroy these rather than activating them, it makes it slightly harder for you, obviously, because you can't respawn at that location. So we can either activate it by going up and holding X, or we can destroy it. And what happens is it will come up saying reward hog level 1. So it increases our rewards, or the level of our rewards, by 1 point or 1 level, whatever that means exactly. But each time you destroy a new one, you know, every time you destroy another respawn beacon, you will have another level to that reward hog. And that means you're more likely to get the higher level gear throughout the mission. So I thoroughly recommend doing that. You can still respawn. So you might think to yourself, you know, if the mission's going to be difficult, I need to be able to respawn. But if you do destroy those beacons, then you just respawn back at the start of the level. It doesn't restart the level. It still keeps all of your objectives that are already complete are still completed, you know, so there's no problem there. You can still carry on with the mission from where you left off. It just means that you have to travel back through the level to get to where you were trying to go. So I thoroughly recommend that if you're trying to get some of the legendary gear, some of these interesting items. But there you have it, guys. It's a great game. If you're thinking about getting it, go and check out the other videos on our channel. We have a bit of a let's play there, and we're streaming the game every now and again as well, so come check us out on Twitch. All the links are in the description of this video. But thanks for all the support, guys. Hope you enjoy the game if you do pick it up. If not, enjoy whatever you're playing right now, and I will catch you all soon.